To me, it means having to spend time or spending time with your family and having time to spend on your work, and it's just getting that balance right. And yeah, it kind of hit home, and it's really the main reason why I set up my own business. So yeah, it means quite a lot to me. So it's important that I've got a work-life balance, and also I've got some time for myself somewhere in there as well, because I find that otherwise you don't function properly. Where I worked before, I was just working the most ridiculous hours, going to the office. My husband was coming to do all the drop-offs, all the pickups. I was working over the weekend, I was home late, I wasn't seeing the children. And so now they've kind of got this happy medium in that they know I'm around. So I'm quite lucky, they're quite accommodating, but I think they see an improvement because the children very quickly said, you're just a different person. So they do see the improvement with it. I plan a lot more, and I plan to a lot more detail than I thought I would. And I basically map my day every day. So I do it a week ahead. And I always make sure that I have the time for, the things that I need to have time for. And I'm more conscious of what I'm doing. Somebody said, treat it like you're at school. So when you come to the end of your hour, it's like the school bell goes. So you have to put whatever you were doing down and then move on to the next thing. So if your next thing's a break, you move on to it. And also because it's me that's controlling things rather than somebody else sort of saying, you've got more work, this is a new client, you go and do it. I've got more control over what I can do. I am still really bad at taking on too much. The school is running short of money, so I'll set up and run PTA and all these other things. So I'm being more conscious about doing the extras that I don't need to do. I shut the door, which sounds silly, but I do shut the door, and I don't take my MacBook or anything out of the office at the end of the day. I think what I'm going to do going forward, we've got sort of a shed thing outside, we're going to get that converted. I think it would be better to have it as a separate building. I think that will make a huge difference, because then I will physically go to work. The exercise, so that's important for me. It's also because I work remotely, and at the moment work pretty much on my own. It's important for me to have social contact, and that might be like by Zoom or a phone call or just texting somebody, and I try and make sure that I do that regularly. And then also I find from a sort of mental health point of view, I'm not very good at this actually either, but I'm going to try and improve, is try and get more sleep, and make sure you sleep well, eat well, and also trying more to read books as well, just to sort of trying to switch off. I'm really not very good at switching off, but I never have been. I think I'm always going to be thinking something through, and I now have, that's the other thing, I now have notepads dotted around the house. Like I've got one by my bed, and I've got one in the kitchen and things, so if something pops into my head, I can quickly write it down. I do think it's important to try and get some downtime. Whilst you might be a bit of a workaholic, you still need to have that downtime and spend time with your family. And like I say, the key thing I think is to look after yourself. Make sure when you are where you're working, you're comfortable, and it's in a nice environment, there's no distractions, so you get the maximum done while you're working. I think that's the key thing for me. I now switch off social media, I put my phone in a drawer and things like that, so that when I'm working, I'm maximising the time I'm getting and being more productive. And also, looking after yourself, your food, your exercise, your fresh air, all that. It's all part of it, and that's all the bit about getting the good work-life balance. It's just a lot more than just, your 9 to 5, and when you pick up your pen, put your pen down. And the other thing is, don't give yourself a hard time. I did for ages, and felt really guilty because I like to do things the way I like to do things. And I think you have to put your hand up and say, look, I am a bit of a workaholic, and that's me, and that's how I'm happy. But as long as I get the time with everybody else that I want to, it works okay.